Good early afternoon, everybody. Good early afternoon. Welcome to another edition of Savings Minus Debt. I'm your host, LJ Young. Welcome. As always, we're going to wait a few minutes for people to get up in here, get the alerts. Actually, I'm going to copy and paste this thing too, so I can maybe it'll get out earlier. What's up, Aaron? Man, you be getting them alerts quick, Aaron, man. You got to tell people your secret. What's your secret? Because I swear you be getting there first, man, every single time. So you must be getting the alerts quickly. People need to know your secret, man. So I'm going to copy and paste this link and put it in the community. There we go. So hopefully everybody will get it. Yeah, you got to share your secret, man. What's up, Jewel? Hello. It is a beautiful day here in South Carolina. Let me see what today. What's the degrees today? Okay, I got the alert. That's weird. I'll get my own alerts to come across my email, but when I subscribe to other people, I don't get their alerts until I go and check. So that's the weirdest thing. Maybe you got to go and check all and go back, uncheck, recheck, subscribe, then select all to get these alerts. I bet you YouTube, I bet you they be resetting the settings. What's up, retired? What's going on? Oh, Aaron wants it bad, man. I never understood the mod thing, honestly. And I'm not saying it just to be saying, I just never understood the mod thing. What is it about the mod thing? I don't get it. Because I've gone to other channels and they've asked me to be a mod. I'm like, nah, I don't want to be a moderator. No. All right. What's up, Quentin? What's going on? What's up, LJ? Another beautiful breezy day in Charleston. Sure is, but I love it, man. Because I know it's temporary, you know? Welcome. What's up, NC Biggs? What's happening? SMD family coming in the room. Coming on the channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Welcome to Savings Minus Debt, which we are a family, basically. You know, a family of aliens, a family of conscious slaves and aliens. All right? Conscious slaves and aliens. All right, Aaron, you know what I'm gonna do? You have been consistent. I ain't gonna lie, man. You have been consistent. Let me go here 1 second. You have been. So let's first we gotta weave out to make sure, you know, I just don't let anybody be a moderator. Because I want to make sure you get along with the other moderators in the room, you know? It's very important. So just a second here. Let me go on YouTube, view this. I got a couple minutes anyway, so it doesn't matter. Let's see. Let's see, Aaron. All right, there you go, man. There you go. What's up, Mike? Nancy Big says, how are you, LJ? Like those short videos? Hey, man, that's Young Grump putting those together, man. He put those together on his phone at lunchtime at work. It's crazy, man. It's crazy when he's like, you do this all on your phone? Yep, do it all on your phone. All right, we're going to get started here. For those of you that do not know me, my name is LJ Young, and I'm a 100% debt-free motivational speaker and personal finance educator. I help people become financially free by helping them mathematically see outside what I call the debt matrix. And the debt matrix is a place where everybody lives that believes in credit and debt, financing everything that goes down in value, living paycheck to paycheck, and still can't figure out why. This is where now I'm not talking negative about you, but because that's where I lived for the first 40 years of my life. until I woke up, found Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey said, take the math that you learned in elementary school and apply it to your finances, and you will always win with money. And that's what I did. And now I'm free. So I take the principles I've learned from Dave Ramsey and dumb them down even more and just justify everything with mathematics. I make everything simple and justified with mathematics. So you understand that math is an exact science, it's never wrong. So that's what I use. All right. And math doesn't care about how you feel about it. Okay. It doesn't care. Like if you believe you're a homeowner with a 30-year mortgage, you are what's called an unconscious slave. Unconscious slaves do not believe in mathematics, and they don't even know they don't believe in mathematics. So if I said you're not a homeowner with a mortgage and you got upset about that, those are your feelings, because what I'm saying is mathematically true. If it's mathematically true, it doesn't matter how you feel about it. And math doesn't care how you feel about it. Okay, so that's what I'm going to make sure. So once I became debt free, I've experienced an unbelievable freedom and awareness that I never ever knew existed. And now that I'm outside of what's called the debt matrix, I can clearly see that everything is strategically programmed. Okay, it's just somebody designed it. It's not bad. It's just there. Okay, it doesn't favor. It only favors those who trust mathematics. It does not favor those who do not. Okay. So now that's all I do is help people become free. And all you got to do is believe math. So if you want to know if you are an unconscious slave, and the easiest way, usually I just go by the name, add up all your savings, add up all your debt. Savings minus debt equals if you are a slave or not. If you are in the deep negative, yes, including your mortgage, student loans, collections, all the stuff you hope that falls off of your credit report and all that other stuff, all of it counts. Savings minus debt equals how much money you have in real life. Now you look at this number. If you choose to believe that number, you will instantly be transformed in what is called a conscious slave, a slave that now believes in mathematics and is doing whatever it takes to get out from debt. But if you look at that number and you don't believe it, and you believe you own the home you live in, you believe you own the car outside, you believe you own the timeshare, you believe all this other stuff, you believe you own a home while having student loans that are older than your home. Because if your student loans are older than your mortgage, you are what's called an unconscious slave. And you will be that way until you're dead. If you choose to, it's all a choice. It's all a choice. But once you get out of debt, and this is what I show people, to the type of freedom that you will experience once you get out of debt. You get out of debt, you will know that it doesn't take 30 years to pay off a house. Okay, you'll know that. You'll pay off your house, and all you have is property taxes. And then once you once you have no mortgage, you'll see that property taxes are not expensive at all. Property taxes, if you had no mortgage, property taxes wouldn't be nothing, because you could pay the whole year in a couple of paychecks, and then the rest of the money is yours for the rest of the year. See, but you can't see that when you're in debt. That's all part of the debt matrix. Okay. Now, the title of this one is called "The Economy Minus Debt." All right. So put it this way: the economy runs on debt. Okay. The economy would not exist if slaves didn't exist. Slaves are the engine of the economy. So though debt is part of the economy, you don't have to be in debt to be part of the economy. You don't have to. I'm part of the economy, but I'm not in debt. I'm not what is called an unconscious slave, which I was for the first 40 years of my life. I was. And once you get out of debt, like for example, this 2020 economy, right? You will be able to see how everything works. This is what I see. I see how it all works. Not the way that the economists see it on TV, not the way your friend sees it down the street. It's totally different. All you got to do is trust. All I had to do was trust mathematics, and I could see everything. I see everything. Now, I can't say I see every single thing, but I see the majority of it. I see the basis of it, how it works. What is the basis? Trusting mathematics. That's it. Once I trusted math, everything changed. The whole economy changed. Even this economy here in 2020, in 2020. You can see how it works. You can see how it goes. Uh, I mean, think about it this way. Let me show you something. Okay, let me give you an example. When you're in the debt matrix, you do things that don't make sense, but yet you keep doing it. Don't you just don't stop because you see everybody else doing it. So you continue, you just do it, right? So for example, you see there's $1.7 trillion in student loan debt. There's trillions of dollars in mortgage debt, trillions of dollars in credit card debt, trillions with a T. Yet PS5 system sold out. Now, if you think about it, does that make sense to you? Doesn't make sense to me. If by the way, and millions of people are out of work. Millions, almost a million, just close to 3/4 of a million filed for unemployment. What, just last month, something like that? But yet PS5 sell out. Does that make sense to you? No, those are what's called unconscious slaves. Unconscious slaves know the price of things. They don't know the value of things. That doesn't make sense. Why would that sell out? Because they're unconscious. They don't know. Slaves don't know. Money doesn't even exist for them. So the economy, I'm telling you, the economy is totally different when you understand this, when you understand how it works. Let me give you another example so you can understand. And I always repeat this too. For the government to make $100 bill for the central bank. For the central bank to make $100 bill, it costs 19.6 cents to make a $100 bill. The price is 100, but the value is 19 cents. Now, if you go up to an unconscious slave and say this to them, hey, you know, you can go to the government website and see how much it costs to make that $100 you have in your pocket, right? It costs 19 cents. So that's not really $100 in your pocket. You do know that. They will look at you and they will be bewildered. They'll be like, what are you talking about? So what? You know, I've said some of this to my friends. You know what they told me? So what? Right to my face. So I said, do you hear what I just said? Do you know it costs a 20 and a 50 costs exactly the same amount to make? Let me get that exact number so you guys can really get what I'm saying here. Just a second. To make a 20 and to make a 50 costs 16.1 cents. Now let me see something so I can say this out loud so you guys can really get it. So what I'm gonna do is say 16.1 times 2, right? That's 32.2 cents. So if a slave has an unconscious slave has a $20 and a $50 bill in their pocket, they believe they have $70. But in reality, they have 32.2 cents. You see how that works? Now, this is the economy. None of this is hidden. Okay, I want you guys to clearly understand something. There's another economy that slaves can't see, but at the same time, it's not even hidden. Now, I don't know how in the world somebody designed that. That's beyond belief, psychological something. I don't know how that is, but it's true. It's crazy to think that. And again, if you say that to a slave, they will have no idea what you're talking about. They'll say, okay, then give me your 20 and your 50 and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, you don't get it. I'm still going to use money because you believe it is what it says on the paper. It's the economy that if you were not in debt, you would not be as stressed as what's going on right now. Right? You just wouldn't be because you would be able to watch it You're still part of it. Don't Okay, I'm trying my best to explain this. Yes, you are still part of it, but you're more watching it. It's not nothing will come to you as a surprise. It won't pop out of the blue or nowhere you out of nowhere on you. That will not happen. And each day, I'm trying to man, this the first time I'm trying to put this in words because it's very difficult. It's not it, it's hidden in plain sight, but when you start to see it, it just comes into focus. It doesn't it's not like it wasn't there because everything has been there the whole time. Like, let me give you another example. Um you see great rates to finance a house, to refinance a loan. You see the great rates. You're like, oh my God, now is the time to take advantage of getting a home and becoming a homeowner. But in reality, if you look around you, you can clearly see that there's a housing market crash about to happen. And how do I know this? There are going to be millions of foreclosures because there are millions of people out of work. Now I'll say hundreds of thousands of foreclosures or whatever, right? I don't know the exact numbers, but it's going to be big. Now, if you're buying a house right now while in debt in an unshaky economy, you don't even know if you have your job, you don't even know if you're going to have your job, and say like the economy crashes next year, which it will, it's going to. Okay, it's without a doubt, it's going to. All right, you will be locked, and when the housing prices go down, you will remain locked into the housing prices of today. Not only you, hundreds of thousands of people like you. They will see that the value of their house plummet, and you're gonna be still making the same mortgage payment. This pretty much locks the bank in. It kind of helps mitigate their losses because there's going to be people that just simply cannot pay their mortgage. So they're going to catch them up with the people that believe they're going to be a homeowner in the worst time in history, one of the worst times in history. I see the economy. Like, I'll give you a piece of something right here. Like, I usually talk about this in the members only, but this is just what I see. All right. Here is the virus that has pretty much crippled the economy. Okay, whatever, right? Um, Very difficult to put in words. Okay, which in turn closed down the schools too. Okay, so now not only are parents out of work, they're trying to find a job and pay rent. Now they got to homeschool their kids. That their kids are home full time, and they got to homeschool them during this time. Now, how many parents you think are going to have the ability, the mental capability to even do that? The gap this is going to create, and this is my opinion. Okay, this is just what I see. The wealth gap is going to be so huge. You know how many kids are going to be just not caught up, and at the same time, you got to remember, unconscious slaves don't know that unconscious slaves don't know they're unconscious. They don't. I mean, unconscious slaves don't know they're slaves, right? So they're going to naturally, not only during this time, not teach their kids the proper way of just basic school stuff, but they're also going to pass down the knowledge of not trusting math to their children when it comes to money. You know how large the wealth gap is going to be? It's going to be created. Oh my God. You know how big of a gap that's gonna be? That's gonna be a huge gap. People are going to be so far behind on their bills. Most are going to be absolutely refusing to file bankruptcy chapter 7 because it's going to ruin their credit. They're going to absolutely refuse to. People, slaves will borrow money to pay their debt, their payments. Borrow money to make their payments. Right now, like I said before, this is an employer's economy. This is crystal clear to me. This is an employer's economy. Employers call the shots right now because millions are out of work. They will take anything to survive, anything. So right now, an employer can pretty much, especially when they check a person's credit report, they can pretty much get top dog people for whatever they need them for on the low because they're in debt and they need money. You know, a person that's usually really good at computer engineering or something, whatever, and they used to making 150,000 a year, not anymore. Those days are done. Because if you got people out there with no job, deep in debt, and got double the skills than the person that believes they're good, you're out of here. You're gone. Yeah, and on top of that, people are going to be working from home now. Not only is it an employer's market, they're going to be working from home now. Transfer from a transform from a W-2 to a 1099. Now the employer don't legally have employees anymore, and they don't have to pay insurance, taxes. They don't have to worry about none of it. It's all on you. And with everybody out of work and working from home, employers got their choice. They got their pickings. They get to choose whoever, what, when. And I only and I'm as I'm thinking about it as I'm talking to you, man, they're going to be able to do. People are going to be at home believing they can work more because they don't have to be out in traffic and things of that nature and stuff like that. They don't have to drive, wear and tear on their car. They're making payments on there. Say, okay, yeah, I could put in. But guess what? They're going to make you work for free because they can. Because now you know and they know you are now easily replaceable, especially if you're 1099. They don't have to go through all the process of going through HR and all this bullshit. They could just fire you. They could just let you go. Don't no excuse. Hey, we just didn't need you anymore. Goodbye. Now imagine the slaves that will know that they can be let go at any time. They're gonna kiss so much ass. They're gonna work so many hours for free. Yes, you guys are. You guys gonna work for free. You're gonna do whatever they say. You're gonna wait by the phone. You can't leave your house. You won't be able to leave because everything, like say, like they pay for your cell phone bill, and which gives them access to your phone. I mean, you don't really understand that you're giving permission when they pay for part of your phone bill. You're giving them permission to call you anytime they wish. You think they're paying your phone bill because they like you? No, they're doing it so they can have 24-hour access to your life. So this is what they're going to do. They're going to pay you for 8 hours, 40 hours a week, but they're going to own 24 hours of your life. Yes, they are. And while a 1099, knowing that you could be let go at any time, good luck, man. Good luck. This is an employer's market. This economy, you don't have to be in debt to be part of the economy. Yes, it runs on debt, but you don't have to be in debt to be part of it. You don't. You could see everything I see. You guys have no idea how many scammers are going to be out there picking you guys little money that you do have like piranha. They're already out there legally and illegally. They're picking your bones because they know you're desperate. You'll hang on to anything that's going to get you out of this hole and get you out of this hole fast. But what you don't realize is this: you've been in that hole your whole entire life. 2020 is just showing you that you're in a hole. You can't tell when you're in a hole when you have a job and you're driving a nice car and you're living in a nice house. You don't know you're in a hole. Now 2020 is just showing you. You can say, hey, 2020 is 2020 vision, or you can just remain blind and get picked apart by the piranha, subprime mortgages, payday lenders, earning app, all this stupid crap. All that stuff is designed to take your money because you are in fear. Fear, total fear. What's up, Kirkland? Shout out to Kirkland for the $4.99 super chat. Thank you, sir. Now you can have 2020. I mean, you can put on the 2020 glasses, 2020 vision, and you can see clear, but you got to get out of debt. You can't be in debt to see it. You cannot be in debt. Everything I'm telling you right now, you cannot see it because you're mathematically blind. If you remain blind, they're going to take advantage of you and all your money. And guess what you're going to do? You're going to pass it down. You're going to pass it down through the generations. That's what you're going to do. Unconsciously, of course. You're not doing it. You know, nobody who loves their family or their children, they're not going to pass bad financial math or bad financial advice down to the people they love on purpose. They're doing it by accident, unconsciously. "2020 can wake you up." None of this is hidden from you. You can wake up from this. You can free yourself, go down, go get a lawyer, file Chapter 7, and be free instantly. But if you're one of those people that are like, oh man, bankruptcy's for losers, only slaves say such things. You got to stop and say to yourself, then why is it there? You think bankruptcy's for losers? No. Only for losers that don't know what it's there for. It's a tool that can free you. If not, these piranha are going to tear you apart. They're going to use you. Jobs are going to use you. Scammers are going to use you. Morals go out the window when somebody ain't got no food. Morals go out the window. You come over here, you get out of debt, you get 2020 vision. Nobody, no scammer, no banker, nobody will be able to fool you when it comes to money. Nobody. Either you trust math or you don't. If it doesn't make mathematical sense, it doesn't make financial sense. Period. And scams cannot make mathematical sense. It cannot. That's the only way they can scam you. It cannot make mathematical sense. That's the only way they can scam you. You get out of debt, not even an employer will be able to use you, especially if you're good at what you do. You'll walk in there, they'll run your credit report, and they will know right away that you're not a slave. They will know right away. As soon as they run your credit report, they will clearly see that you're not in debt and you're good at what you do. They'll know you don't care what's going on around you in the economy. This is my price. No, you can't call me anytime you wish. No, of course not. That you would own no. If I allowed you to call me anytime you wanted to, that means you're paying me for 40, but you own 24 to 40. I mean, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The answer is no. Oh, my alarm. Okay, hold on, you guys. Truck alarm's going off here. Let me turn this thing off. I don't know why it just randomly does that. 1 second here. Watch it not connect. Oh, there we go. All right, sorry about that. All right, let me say what's up, some of you guys in here. Sorry. All right, you guys are chit chatting in here. Oh, I didn't know a lot of people jumped up in here. Whoa. Hello. All right. What's up, Pedro? Nick? Oh, man, you guys have been talking. All right. Well, Aaron. Okay, listen, Aaron. All right, we don't want to comment in caps. That's on purpose. All right. I don't want you. See, man, I don't want you to make me think I made a mistake. All right. There's a reason why we don't want you to comment in all caps. All right, man. Don't do that, please. Kendall, that show that slaves hate. The show. Well, I mean, they don't have to. What's up, Pedro? Hello, citizens. Thanks for telling people to get those likes up. Much appreciated. Pedro says, I'm doing, oh, it's talking to Jewel. Okay. Pedro says, LJ, I'm not going to lie. I felt some type of way when I found out it was so cheap to make dollar bills. Yeah. How did it make you feel though, Pedro? And when you saw that, how did it make you feel? What's up, Andre? What's going on? Sharif says, the paper dollar itself don't hold the value. It's the U.S. government that make paper dollars valuable. No, it's the people who believe in it. The government just gets you to believe in it. And if you choose to believe in it, that's just what you believe, right? They don't make anybody do anything. What's up, Dennis? Quincy says the economy will start to recover late summer. I don't know. Yep, there will be a gap with kids. I'm seeing parents get together and hire a private teacher for like 5 kids. Yeah, there's going to be a huge gap. There's going to be a huge gap, in which is going to equate to a even more huge wealth gap. Okay. I always wonder why people finance a fancy car they can't afford so they can get mad at the traffic and rush to work so they can earn money for a boss so they can get paid enough for the car payment. Yeah, that was me. I ain't gonna lie. That was me. I was driving in a nice Lexus to work. I was driving in my nice Lexus from being parked at home all night, from sleeping, getting home tired. And then I get up, drive my nice Lexus and park it for another 8 hours at my job site. That doesn't make any sense. Dave says, there have been people who really are doing bad, but if you're specialized and an expert, I see those people getting picked up like crazy. Yes, they will be. There have been a handful of people that work at the same company I do. They upped and jumped ship. They got better offers. Okay. Counts on, like I said, it counts on what you do. Andre says a flight to the suburbs. What's up, Air Coins? Cities will lose 50% of their tax base. Cities will lose 50% of their tax base. I'm not sure. I got, me, Andre. I got to ask what that even means. What's wrong with cheaper labor? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Retired 2019 says, LJ, I'm going to find a part-time job in 21. It's a great feeling when you choose to work. Yeah. Nothing's wrong with having a job if you choose it. K Coach says, I have a full-time job, but I have a business and also drive Uber. Damn, that's big. Wow. I have plans in place just in case. I let them know not to disturb me on my weekends. That's what I'm talking about. As long as it's by choice, man, get your bread. Get your bread. Andre says, the average metro will look like Detroit. Oh, that's why you're saying that. Yes, it has. Underground, what's going on? What are your views on someone working 1099 while they're in debt? Well, I'm not against the 1099 work. I mean, I prefer 1099. Honestly, I prefer it, but one has nothing to do with the other, right? The only way to get out of debt, you have to have a job. You have to have money. You have to earn money to get out of to get out of debt. So I saw a mobile home for 17,000. That's what I'm talking about. Cosby says you can't use the willing, some supply and demand. I have monthly subscription to a lot of business services. I've noticed this season many are offering lifetime memberships or the cost of a year subscriptions. I've been jumping on them like crazy. If I was heavy in debt, this wouldn't be an option. It would not. Definitely would not be. Somebody trying to jack your truck. Oh, nope. I'm looking out the window as I'm talking to you guys. I have a beautiful view outside my window. And my truck is just below, so I could see it. So one of these kids probably bumping their music, sets it off. How long have you been streaming? I never get notifications. It says I've been streaming for 35 minutes. What I strongly suggest is this, because I don't get my notifications either from people that go live. I strongly suggest to go to unsubscribe, then resubscribe, and then turn on notifications, because who knows if YouTube is just turning them off, resetting them every year, No problem, man. No problem, man. Retired 2009. LJ, how about doing a future live stream called Santa Slaves? Okay, you got to tell me, what does that even mean? What's that mean? What's up, E-Man? What's going on? Pedro says, I have an uncle who filed bankruptcy and lost a 10-unit apartment because renters were not paying him, and 2 years later bought a house and another one the third year. And when you say bought, what do you mean by financed or bought cash? What do you mean? LJ, knowing how cheap it was to make money made me feel backstabbed. Well, put it this way, Pedro. You got to remember, it must be this way. Okay? Slaves must not know. I mean, again, it's not hidden, but they must not know how much it costs to make money, because you got to remember the value of the money itself really doesn't matter. Okay? Because slaves are in debt. So no currency exists for slaves. Gold, silver, diamonds, rubies, oil, none of that stuff, whatever you consider money, making money, none of that exists for slaves. They just believe it exists. Okay? And the majority must remain that way. I mean, the price to produce something has nothing to do this price. That's just business. Gotcha. If you believe a car is worth 20K, you'll pay that amount. Yeah. If you believe it's worth $20,000, you believe, like when they're telling the price of that new Lamborghini truck. Oh my God, this truck is like $200,000. To who? To the person that believes it's $200,000. LJ, my friend cannot take off work during the holidays because she works for a small business and she has no backup support. Slave life. Yep. Can't even take it off. Probably won't even get holiday pay. Won't even get it. I laughed at my dad's friend because he used to buy old cars in cash. Now I understand he didn't want the finance fees. He didn't want to finance things that go down in value. A car, this is what I want you guys to understand something very clearly. Saying that you're making a car payment, you have no idea the financial statement you are making out in public. When you say something like, oh my God, this economy is bad, I'm about to lose my car, you just told the world that you're making payments on a depreciating object. I used to laugh at people like that too. I used to think they had bad credit. Oh, that's why they got that old car, because they can't afford to get a nice one, or they would. Their credit must be bad. No, they just don't finance depreciating objects like my dumb ass did. And saying you making a car payment out loud, you guys have no idea the type of economic statement you are making about your own finances. Only slaves finance cars. If you say you're making a car payment, I know exactly where you are in this economy right now. I know exactly where you are. If you get a brand new cell phone every single time a new iPhone comes out, I guarantee you're not paying cash for it. Guaranteed. I guarantee it. And if I even hear that you're financing a phone, yeah, 2020 is not going to be good for you. Not at all. Juan says, I always wonder why. Oh, I think I read that all already. Oh, yeah, I did read that. Okay. I haven't been getting notification either. Shadow ban. I know. I wonder. But then again, Aaron, man, I'm telling you, every time I come on, Aaron be the first. He'd be the first one to pop in. So he's obviously getting a notification. But I don't want to be jumping in conspiracies and all this other shit, you know. I just be here to tell you and I and to I want you guys to understand something too. It's like don't think that because I'm telling the truth, somebody's trying to prevent me from telling you the truth because it doesn't matter. The majority will never believe what I'm saying ever, even though I can prove it. They will never believe that you can see they will never believe that there's more than one economy, more than because I don't know how many they are. Okay. I always say there's two, but I have no idea if there's more or not. I don't know. Okay. But I know the one I used to live in, which is the debt matrix. I know that's not the only one. I know that for a fact. If I didn't wake up back when I was 40, 41, somewhere back there, I would have been completely fucked in 2020. Now again, you guys don't hardly ever hear me curse, but when you hear me say a curse word, it's to emphasize something that's very, very important. I would have been totally screwed right now, totally screwed had I been in debt when 2020 hit. Totally screwed. I wouldn't have been able to meet the people I have as far as SMD family members. There is no way they would have even, I wouldn't even known to talk to them. They definitely wouldn't have talked to me. Because I promise you, you guys, I promise you, us as conscious slaves and aliens, we can see you, but you can't see us. Now you're probably thinking, oh, what the fuck you mean? You're invisible? No, slave. I'm not talking about physically. I'm talking about financially, economically. That's what you can't see because you're part of it. You're part of it. And every day I become more, and this is not bragging. I want you guys to understand this clearly. This is nothing to do with bragging, but I swear to you, every day it becomes more and more clear to me every single day. So much sometimes I get scared. And you're probably thinking, what do you mean you get scared? I don't know how to explain that part to you. But when certain things come into focus, I'll be like, oh fuck, I didn't see that. Especially right now. You guys don't even when you're in debt, you can't even it, if you're worried about your credit going bad and you're deep in debt, you don't put it this way. If you don't even know how much debt you're in, but you're still worried about your credit score, you're gonna be a slave until you're dead. You really can't see what's happening right now. Mm. I'd have been screwed, man. I'm thinking about, I'm taking my mind back to when I was in debt. And when I was in debt, what would my anxiety level be right now in 2020? It would probably been through the roof. I'd have been worried about losing my car. I definitely wouldn't have been able to stay in the apartment I lived in. That was just stupid ridiculous. I can't even believe I paid that much for a freaking place that I didn't own. I'd have been screwed. And then As much debt as I was in, good luck on trying to pay off that amount of debt in an economy like this. Good luck. Mm. And I feel sorry for a lot of people. I do. Because this is a very, very rough time right now. It's very rough. There's some I know if you see the economy and watch the news and then you jump on social media, it doesn't seem like it goes together, does it? It look like everybody's going on vacation, having fun, and they're still having like Christmas time is coming, and you see all the Christmas shit. It's an illusion. Okay. I want you guys to understand something. What you're seeing on social media is not real. It's an illusion. What they gonna start posting the bad times? Them crying and worried about how they're gonna pay their rent? You think they're gonna post and they're gonna grab one of their electric bills that are past due, take a picture of it, and put it up on social media? No, they're not. They're never gonna do that. Exactly, Jewel. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. I think mine's about that. What is mine? 20. I pay about 15, $16 a month, something like that. LJ, I bought a Mazda 2020 CX-5 2 months ago and made one car payment and left a bad taste in my mouth paying it off in 2021. Yeah, pay that off, man. How long did it take you to get to LJ? That's a good question, Cosmic. I say I'm still getting to LJ, Cosmic. I don't think I don't, not that I don't think, I know I'm not there yet. How do I know this? I'm not big as Joe Rogan yet. I'm not big as Tony Robbins yet. I'm not big as uh, Dave Ramsey yet. Somebody's ringing the doorbell. Hold on. Can you guys hold on for a quick second? Somebody's at my door. 1 second. Entertain yourself for a second here. 1 second. Let me see what this is. One second here. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. So I'm still getting there, Cosmic. Still getting there. I'm coming more and more into myself every single day, which is allowing me to be more and more comfortable with the truth, speaking the truth. Tompkin82 says, you don't have to curse to get your point across. No, you don't. That is true. And like I said, I don't curse a lot, but I like to do it because of factor or value or whatever. It's like a movie with Samuel L. Jackson in it, right? You put Samuel in there, and if he doesn't cuss, you'll be like, "What's wrong? Hey man, what's up with this part in this movie?" So it's same thing. Cupcake says, "I don't care if they don't believe I have a sister that finances everything and has nice things and thinks she's doing better in life than me." That's yeah. Oh, talking about the zero. Okay, I didn't know if you were just talking about me. It took me about 2 years, but I went hardcore though, Cosmic. I moved in with my sister, sold all my shit, and people thought I was smoking crack. Why'd LJ move from that nice place into a room in his sister's house at age 40? All the slaves. 80 pounds of rice per year per person. Okay, what's Andre talking about? If you want your message to reach young people, you should exclude the profanity. But hey, it's your channel. God bless you, bro. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. I don't care about the credit score anymore. It just reflects how well you pay your debt. Doesn't mean you are free. That's true. Credit score doesn't mean anything. Credit is a tool. LJ, my uncle financed properties. He has now again. I think his mistake was buying an apartment he couldn't afford unless he was getting paid from the. Oh, gotcha. Okay, what code you sending out there, Andre? Lots about building your economic moat to protect you against life. Yeah. Believe nothing of what you see and half of what you hear. Ain't that the truth? I work 5 days a week, take a vacation when I want to. I have been debt free since January of this year. When you become debt free, you don't think about money like that. See, and I'm glad you pointed that out, because that is true. A lot of people don't really understand that you stop thinking about money the way you used to. It's just not like that anymore. I heard medical bills and utility bills have their own credit bureaus. I have no idea. I don't know why a utility bill would have their own credit bureau. Maybe they have a database of people not paying their utility bills, maybe. Thank you, Jewel. Please get those likes up. I much appreciate it. They found you. I don't care. That doesn't bother me. Television, right. A slave was at the door. No, that was a delivery, package delivery. I'm not saying that everybody works is a slave. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that if you have a job and you are working for free, meaning if you're working through lunch breaks and your superiors treat you like shit, it's because you are in debt. You're a slave, because once you get out of debt, you won't allow that anymore. Okay. There are over 100. God, see, I didn't even know that. I didn't know that. I think a person who can buy things in cash says a lot about their financial education and past financial decisions. Not saying it's good to build credit, not good to build credit for those important things. I think, credit, like I said, credit is still a tool. It's still a tool. Shout out to D Rock Den, 499 super chat. Salute LJ. I'm still a slave for now. Thanks for helping me realize my position. You are welcome, man. You are what's called, call yourself a conscious slave. Okay, just not a regular slave, just say conscious slave. But congratulations. Dave says, that was the time LJ was smoking that. Right, exactly. Said I was on drugs because I moved in with my sister at age 40. Oh man, he lived with his sister, man. He's 40 years old, man. Whatever, slaves. There's nothing wrong with curse words. Curse word come from ethics, which come from corporations. It's again, it doesn't matter. Once you put it this way, once you become conscious, you don't really, you don't get me wrong. I listen to what others say, but I still do what I feel. Okay, I still do. I'm set apart. Says people that hate to hear profanity were were violated when they spoke profanity. Now they want to put the restriction that they were limited. No, that nobody puts that on me. Okay, I'd never allow that to happen. That would never happen. L. Johnson says this chick I know, said she financed her bike. Ooh, I mean, I see bicycles. I mean, bicycles, man, cost what they cost. I'd be blowing my mind how much they cost. Right? It's crazy. They be costing some money. I'm thinking there is no way. When I see a cost of a bicycle, I say to myself, there is no way they pay cash for that bicycle. There's no way. There is no way. There is no way they bought that cash. They bought that bicycle in cash. In this economy, you know what else I see too? I see in this economy, I see foreigners that come over, man, and they're buying shit in cash, creating businesses. People don't even see it happening. Especially like the Mexicans, man. I see the Mexicans doing it, man. I see them doing it. I've been seeing that for years, though. I've been seeing that for years. Even when I was in debt, I saw how the Mexicans were doing it, man. They would come over. Like I had this Mexican family next door to me, right? Cool as hell, man. I love this dude, man. He could barely speak English. His kids would have to translate all the time, right? But we became pretty good friends, right? I remember asking him, did he make a house? Did he how much something about his mortgage payment came up, right? And he told me he didn't have one. That kind of blew me away, but I was like, damn. And then he had a whole bunch of cars. He owned them all. You could tell every now and then he would bring probably a family in there to stay with them. It was, but there was none of my business. They were never noisy and making a ruckus or anything. So it was none of my business. But they stacked their money, buy shit, and then just continue the process. Buy a house, put their family in it, and then the next family in the new house pays that one off, or however they do it. I don't know how they're doing it, and then they just move on. It's just generational. While Americans here, we're just financing everything under the sun and going deeper and deeper in debt, thinking we're doing better than foreigners. Oh man, look at them on the side of Home Depot needing a job. No, that's what you think, slave. While they're over there they own everything. While we're driving by them, looking sadly upon them on the side of Home Depot and your brand new Escalade that you're making 1,000 a month payments on. It don't make any sense. Crazy. I hope you guys are paying attention to this economy, because this is the I know you got better words for it, Andre. I know you and Cosmic, I know you guys got better words for it, but you guys don't even understand the transfer of wealth that is happening, not only financially, psychologically. Public schools, because this is I was thinking about this not too long ago. I guarantee you this. I guarantee it. I guarantee you they teach different teachings in private wealthy schools, not colleges. I'm just talking about regular private schools, wealthy private schools compared to public schools. I guarantee you the curriculum is different, guaranteed. And I'm not even saying that I've been into some private schools to see the curriculum of rich private schools. No, I'm just saying I guarantee you it's different, guaranteed. Guarantee you, I guarantee you this. Now, this is just my opinion. I guarantee you part of their to be a teacher there, not only are you probably have to go to certain schools and blah blah blah, but you can't be teaching there with student loans older than your children. Guarantee that's a requirement. You got to pay your student loans off. You have to pay them off. Because if you have a teacher that's teaching like if you have a teacher that has no student loans, you know for sure that they're there because they want to be there. Not saying that the teachers that are there with student loan debt don't want to be there. I'm not saying that at all, but I guarantee you there are some. I'm guarantee you this: there are teachers there that are there because that's all they know. That's all and they have to be there because the amount of student loan debt they have. Now, if you got teachers there that are teaching and they don't want to be there, then what kind of quality of schooling are you going to get from somebody that don't want to be there? That doesn't go just for teachers. They go for doctors, lawyers, whatever. What if you have a doctor that's only a doctor because he has mounds of student loan debt and there's no other job that he or she can get because of the amount of student loan they have? Can you imagine? Can you imagine? That's what I think about all the time. Kendall said, "You should reach out to Dave Ramsey." I mean, reach out to him how, I guess. I mean, "Hey, Dave, I'm LJ." You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I do. I mean, if I ever talk to him, I would first thing I would do is thank him. That's the first thing I would do. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I'll do that. Cupcake says, "You have a key is always no American English. LOL out of those families. You have a key is I'm not sure what you mean by that always." Cosmic says, "Actually, debt is going global. Singapore is stacking more consumer debt than ever now." Oh yeah, this is global. This economy change is global. It's just not the United States. This is worldwide. This is I always talk about the US because we're here and everybody recognizes this or whatever, but you can't really talk to slaves about global economy if they don't even know their own economy. If you're in debt, you don't even know the economy in the America. Can you imagine how many people are given financial advice outside of the economy here when they're in debt? If they're in debt giving financial advice, that means they don't even understand the American economy, let alone the global. I see it too, LJ, but I was lucky to have a good set of parents that I watched as well. Huge plus. That is a plus, Cosmic. And you know what? If I was the, I would be just like every day I wake up, I thank the universe for where I'm at today and what I can see every day. Every day, I thank the universe that I can see something that millions of people cannot. That is a gift within itself. That is a total gift. I talk about things that millions of people cannot see. Millions. You are correct, LJ. My stepsons go to Catholic private school. See what I'm saying? And you know, Andre, I don't know anything about that. I don't. I can just see that is clear. The curriculum, it's got to be different. It's not the same. Guarantees. Now, when I was younger, I used to think to myself, because I didn't know any better. I used to go to school. I think, oh, it ain't no big deal. Math is math. This is that. Blah blah blah. Well, yeah, that's true. Math is math, but not everybody knows how to use it. I know it seems funny. I know it seems weird. What do you mean everybody don't use math the same? It's true. People don't use math the same. You probably think, what do you mean? If you're making car payments, you don't use math the same way people that understand money do. You don't, because you're financing a car. If you're financing a phone, you don't understand math. If your student loans are older than your mortgage, you don't understand math. Angry doctors for sure. It's not just the education, it's the culture. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Andre. Yeah, it's the whole culture. And let me be real with you guys. Let me share something with you. And again, this is not ego. Do you know what it's like? I have something in the palm of my hand. I want to say it's worth millions or billions. It's really worth it's infinity. I have this gift that could change not only a person's life, generations of life, generations. And all they got to do is just believe in math. That's it. It's so crazy to just say, "Damn, it's just right out in the open." And to have this gift, and I walk around in everyday life just going places, I can't help but see the world totally different when I drive by car lots and you see people on the car lots getting ready to finance a car. I'm like, damn, they have no idea they're about to finance a car for 84 months. They're really saying they're about to be a slave for an additional 84 months of their life. If children are our future, we should teach them not to go into debt. That is true. Hyphy says, would rather see you continue to build up SMD, not Dave Ramsey. Do it your own way. That way, no one, no one can ever take away from you. No, I see what you're saying, Hyphy. I would never do that. I took what Dave Ramsey taught me and created SMD, right? I'm not gonna. The reason why I would love to be on Dave Ramsey's show, right? Because if I was be part of his team, and when they say team, I mean, when I say team, when I think of team, I'm thinking as a guy that's up on the desk with him talking on the show. That's what I'm talking about. I wouldn't accept anything less to be on the show, to say I'm up there with Dave, just like the other two dudes, the other two black dudes and a few white dudes on there. I would be up there with him, talking with him. That's what I mean by joining the team. If he said, nah, you can't do that, then I just wouldn't be part of it, because I can do it myself. I think it's infinity. All my kids will go to private school when I'm prepared to have them. That's a must. You know what I would do if I had kids now or whatever, right? First of all, I wouldn't have kids until I was debt free, right? I wouldn't have kids while I was in debt. That means I would have money for private school, right? And then I would go to the private school and say, "Hey, I got some questions." They'd be like, "Yeah, how many of your teachers are in debt?" All right. And what do you teach them about the economy? How do you guys teach them? I want to know. What do you guys teach them about it? That's what I would do. Yeah, can I speak to the dean? Yeah, okay. Hey, dean, are you in debt? You have student loans? Yeah, no. People don't even know how to use a calculator. Sure don't. Calculators are useless if you don't know the numbers. If you don't know the correct numbers to put in them. What's up, Walter? Sharif says, L, I don't think it's the schools. It's more wealthy family that teach their kids about money. Well, I think it's a combination of both. Okay, it's a combination of both. Yes, it starts at home. Uh, it starts at home, and it will start at home naturally, because they will naturally see you not be in debt. They will naturally see parents not fight over money. That won't happen. Hey, the bills in it, because bills cause stress, right? Debts and all that shit. That won't be part of the family dynamic. That just won't happen. You will never be fighting over money, because nobody will be in debt. Any debt prevention material for young people in the near future, LJ? Hmm. Are you talking about young adults, or are you talking about children? Which one are you talking about? Yes, I am. I'm definitely an alien, James, and I'm a proud alien. I know it's weird to say that. It's very At first, as I was learning the truth, it's weird how you don't really want to you hesitate on saying it out loud, because people will think, because it's different. So people will think it's crazy and all this other stuff. But yep, 12 years. I saw that too. I saw that on a credit union website. 144 months financing. Crazy. I see more financing commercials and ads since I've been listening to you now. Oh yeah, you better believe they know. This is why the financing ads are going through the roof. You know why? Because people are in debt. They have no money. See how it works? Scams are through the roof right now. I want you guys to clearly understand that Scams are through the roof for twofold. People are in debt, so they're gonna start scamming, or some people start scamming. And then, but the true scammers, they know the time is now. While fear is at its highest, they know you will probably the likelihood of you believing somebody's going to send you a check to cash, not even ever seeing you ever in their life. They're going to send you a check to cash, and all you got to do is send them a part of the money back. That's clearly a scam. When's the last time you mailed a check to some stranger and told them to cash it, and then told them to send you some of the money back? Has that ever happened to you? That's a scam. That's clearly a scam. Shout out to Mike Williams for the 4.99 super chat. I used to think debt free when I was a teenager, and the people I had around brought me into the plantation, but I'm back to my escape exit. Yeah, me too. Me too, Mike. It's part of the program. That's what it is. It's just part of the program. Either you're part of the program or you're not. Uh Children. I have some parents, they have their children follow me. Okay. They are, but I don't mind the children listen, and maybe in the future sometime, but right now I'm more concentrated on young adults before they have children and adults that may have children now, right? Because children, they follow social media more. They believe social media more. So if they have parents that understand how it really works, the parents have more control of their children, right? They can say, "Hey, you're not going to get on social media. No, I don't care what your friend says. You're not financing a car. Yeah, I don't care what your friend. I don't care if your friends are buying a PS5. Unless you have the money, you ain't buying one either." You know what I'm saying? But LJ, we got to come up with an alien anthem. Alien anthem, huh? I think that's where Nicer comes in. She's good at that stuff. Cosmic says I had both as a kid, was able to learn about money from my parents, but I was fortunate to be able but I was fortunate to be able to take finance classes in high school that taught me how to run a household lease bill. Okay, gotcha. That makes total sense. Makes total sense. People think it's cheaper to borrow right now. What they really don't see is that it's more easier to go into debt right now with the myth of low interest rate. Yeah, that's a myth. Walter says these elite private schools aren't all that. I went to them. The teachers are young adults in loans, in debt loans. Uh, I'm not saying all of them. I'm saying the ones that cost money. I bet you this is what I'm talking about, Walter. I'm talking about the private schools that parents that understand money send their kids to these types of schools that also understand the economy and money the way they do. Then now there might not be many of them, okay? Because I'm not saying every private school understands this. I'm saying that I guarantee you there's a select amount of schools that I could walk in and say, "Hey, uh, do you teach the econ? I need to understand how you guys teach the economy. Do you guys teach about the economy, the combination of both, this version of slaves versus those of us that can see?" Now, I don't know if there's a name for it. I don't know if I could walk into the school and say, "Hey, do you guys teach the blah 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 economy?" There might be a name for it. I don't even know if there's a name. Andre, is there a name for it? I don't know. I want to be I want to be able to walk in and say, "Hey, do you guys teach the XYZ economy?" I don't want them to turn to me and say, "Hey, what are you talking about? No, no, thank you, goodbye." Because let me tell you something. Right now, my girlfriend has a young. He's 7. All right. I swear to God, man, they are teaching him. They're trying to teach him math. Like it does. The shit makes absolutely no sense. Hey, what's 20 22 50 minus 22? Okay, you take the two tens and then you carry the tens over and then you take the two. I'm like, what? Why are you teaching it that way? That makes absolutely no sense. Why don't you just go, hey, this minus this equals that? But listen, but if he wants to pass the test, he must do math the way they're trying to show him. I'm thinking, why are you teaching him that confusing way? That makes absolutely no sense. I want to call up the teachers, but I know the teachers are following the rules mandated by the government. I totally get it, right? But I want to go up to the teacher and say, when's the last time you use math when you're home doing your bills? When is the last time you did math like that? I remember being in school, they made you feel ashamed to use a calculator. If you had to, I remember they say, if you had to use a calculator, you're dumb. No, you're not. Because the only thing you have to know is what numbers to put in the calculator. That's the key to the whole equation. What numbers are you entering into the calculator? Aaron says, LJ, let's say a debt free person or a millionaire was unhappy with their credit score, even though this means nothing to a debt free person. Let's say a debt free person or a millionaire was unhappy with their credit score report, even though this means nothing to it. Well, if they're a millionaire, they wouldn't care about their credit report. They wouldn't be unhappy about something. First of all, unhappy is a feeling. So if a person that had $1 million was unhappy about their credit score, I would know that I would know immediately that they're not a millionaire because they're unhappy about a credit score. I'd say, why are you telling me your feelings about a credit score? That doesn't make sense to me. Would it still be beneficial for them to finance a few things in order to improve their credit score? Hmm. Well, you're asking some things that don't make sense. I mean, they don't really care. Credit is a tool. So let me give you an example. I'm not a millionaire, okay? But I use credit. I use my credit card everywhere. Okay. Yes, it helps build my credit score. Yes, I pay it off at the end of every month. Yes. But I do it for other things too. I do it for security reasons. If I use my credit card everywhere I go, I don't have to worry about the security of every store I shop online or physically. I don't have to worry about it because if it's compromised, I'll get an immediate alert. They will call me or contact me. I'll say, hey, that's not me. And then they'll close it, refund my money, and send me out a new credit card. You try to do that with a debit card, you're gonna have bigger problems. They teach math so good. It does, and so crazy, Nick, it doesn't make any sense. I just want to go, why are you doing? See, this is what you guys don't get. When you see something that doesn't make sense, that's a key, that's a flag. You think to yourself, why are you teaching math like that? I don't get it. That doesn't make sense because I can walk up to and say, hey, I know a faster way. Because the only way you should do math is the version that's going to get you to the answer the quickest. That's it. You don't need to know any other way to say 28, or what do you say, 22 minus 50, whatever, just 50, 22, and then do it, blah blah blah, and then that's it, 18, whatever it is, right? Then that's it. Hey, yeah, bring the two tens down, and then you got the two ones left over. And then I was like, what the that doesn't even make any sense. Yeah, they want you to show your work. Yeah, I get it. I remember hearing that all the time in class. Show your work, show your work. But I don't want to do any math writing it down. I just put it in a calculator. I don't want to use any brain cells. Just let the calculator do it. Yes, that's true. It's true. I know they did, times table. Remember they used to call multiplication. I know, damn. Timetables. Times tables. They sure did. I'm just thinking it out loud. I'm just saying it out loud. Times tables. Why the hell did they call it that? Times tables. They sure did. Hmm. That was stupid. That doesn't even make any sense. Now now I'm saying it out loud. They keep they keep the confusion in there on purpose. I mean, that shit is unnecessary confusion, especially for young little brains. And he even said to his mom as he's doing the math, right? He says, "Mom, can I just do it the way I learned it before? Just the regular way, putting the 50 over the 22 and the minus over to the left and then minus in the numbers and then it equals what it equals." Right? He said, "Can I just do it the old way?" "No, you got to do it this way." It's like that doesn't even make any sense. You're showing young children 3, 4 different ways to get to the same answer when we could just show them the fastest one and that's all they need to know. Yeah, they are. Yes, they are. They teach a modified version of the British system. Hmm. Huh. What's up, Nicer? That's why I said, even though this means nothing to a debt free person, no. Yeah. Nice is correctly, Aaron. Nice is correct. Because let me say something to you, Aaron. And I don't even know if you know you're saying it, but you're saying things that now I maybe you're in the process, Aaron, but you're saying and doing things that just don't make sense. Yeah, LJ, my father was like you, and my mother was the debt slave. He had immaculate credit, zeros across the board. He told us never owe anyone money. Wow. She said, I hated school. It's called indoctrination. Yeah, that's true. Walter says international I don't know how to pronounce that word. School with foreign aristocrat kids, UN kids, and people from Upper East West Side of Manhattan. The same one Dash went to. They have one econ class, because you multiply the numbers in the columns and the rows. See, I remember that. I remember that. Andre, you are a global commodity now. Get your skills up. Yeah. And you know what's crazy, Andre? It gets bigger every day. It's so crazy, man. I hesitate to go outside of the American economy, but I can't help but I can't help but go past that now. It's bigger than, even though I love helping people get out of debt, but it's much bigger than that. Much, much bigger than that. Because it's all connected. All of the economies in the world are connected. Years ago, I used to do collections on payday loans. Ooh, jeez, I wouldn't want that job. People had 200% interest to buy new clothes. They would fall behind one payment and be in hell for life. Fingerhut magazine let people finance Reeboks. I know, right? I remember Fingerhut. The table also shows you the answers to the multiple. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that in grade school. I was just giving an example, LJ. Okay. Nick, multiplication was my strong suit in math, but I sucked at algebra in high school. Now I dig it because I learned independently without an exam determining my life. Yeah, I love math in school. I really did. I'm not in debt, LJ. I'm only 23. Hmm. Underground says school made me feel restricted. They told me if I am black and I didn't want to be a doctor, nurse, or lawyer or teacher, your degree means and give you a frightening if you study to be something else. Oh, degree means and you give. I worked at a credit card company for 3 years. The first charge they give you is an annual fee. I worked at a credit card company for 3 years. The first charge they give you is an annual fee, and people called in and they said they could have that waived if payments were paid. Yeah, I would never have a credit card with an annual fee. I would never do that. I used to I use this site to get through college calculus. Gotcha. Andre says, look at me, attention-seeking behavior as a symptom of psychological distress. Yeah. Yeah, this is a rough time right now. Rough time. Cool, Nick. I was always talking on. Yeah, like I said, if you get out of debt, you could see not only this economy, I'm starting to see how the global economy connects with it all. And I'm seeing that with this virus, the global economy has changed. Um, I can see it's forming into something. It's I'm not saying I can see the future. The only thing I focus on is the present moment. Right. Uh, like what was that? I think that was Cosmic said something that sent me a thing that said, what if they like, because for the longest I was thinking, man, when is the second round of stimulus checks going to come, right? Because millions of people are out of work and they need that money. I was like, why are they hesitating on giving people money? If they gave everybody $1,500 stimulus check, as long as you get your COVID-19 shot, I was like, that now this is not true. This is just something that is said. It's not no facts behind it, just opinion. I'm just giving you a hypothetical situation. Let me just make sure I put it that way. A hypothetical situation. Right now, when millions of people are out of work right now, and they popped up and said, hey, because people on the wall, should I take this COVID-19 shot? Should I not? Should I? Well, you're slaves. You're going to have to do it anyway. You guys don't really even get it. Slaves will have to take the shot. You guys have no choice. You're slaves, right? But if they handed out, they said, hey, man, you come get your shot. We'll give you $1,500 stimulus check. You know how many people will go down and get that shot? You better believe it. You better believe it. And for the few straggling slaves that just absolutely refuse to get the shot, this is all they're going to do. Hey, if you want a job, you got to make sure you have your certification shot in hand. You make just like in school. It's no different than grade school. You can't send your kids to school unless they're up to date on their shots. This was going to be done at jobs, employers. They're going to require them. Hey, this person have proof of their shots. Yeah, okay, cool. If you don't have proof of your COVID shot, you can't work. And imagine this, and not even a require. Not only will it be required, imagine if you go to work and everybody at work has had their COVID shot, but you're the one person that absolutely refused to have a COVID shot. Do you know how they're going to treat you? Do you know how people are going to look at you? They're not even going to want to be around you because you could expose them. Boy, I tell you. Hold on for a second. Oh, let's see here. Because this is bugging me. 1 second. One second. I'll be back in just a second. Doing something real quick here. All right. Andre says the debt free will clean up next year. We'll clean up next year. Yeah, man. Gonna clean the house too, man. I don't even want to know how much money you guys gonna be making. I don't even want to know. Because you guys got to remember, there's some aliens that are ahead of us baby aliens. They're gonna clean house. You guys don't even get it. They're gonna get 3 houses for the price of one if they choose to even go that route. I'm just saying real estate. Real estate ain't the only way to do it. LJ, that is such a freeing way of living. Just live in the moment more often. Enjoy your life. That's what's so funny about that, Nick. It's very difficult. It was very difficult for me to. I know it's crazy to live in the moment when the present moment is the only moment that will ever matter until you're dead. Today, right now, as we speak, as I'm talking. Why is it difficult? I don't know. Yeah, I sent you that article, LJ. Brilliant plan if it does come true. Yeah, I remember that, Cosmic. I shared that with a friend of mine. If that comes true, I mean, I see it. Slaves, you guys really, you don't have, you don't understand. You don't have a choice. If you need a job because you're in debt, you have to take the shot if they require it. And I'm not saying that just because I don't have a traditional job, they can't force me to do it. Hey, they might add it to the flight list. Hey, you can't fly unless you can prove you had a shot. It can be done. Okay. Unless you think I'm gonna stop flying? What do you think? I'm gonna drive to Mexico for vacation? No, I'm not gonna drive. Now, this is just hypothetically speaking. I'm not saying any of this is going to happen, but I just want to say, want you guys to understand something. If you are a slave, you got to do what you're told. You're a slave. It's the idea stage at the moment. Got to give up people got to give people $1,500 if they get the COVID shot. Just an idea. I mean, if it comes true, it's an absolutely brilliant plan. I mean, it's absolutely brilliant, brilliant plan. Raymond says if they clear student loan debt, if they cleared student loan debt, if people take the shot, a lot of people would take it and trade their least favorite kid in as well as yeah, but that'll never happen. They'll never free that many of the slaves. I don't have to work, but private flights can be pricey. Yeah, I bet. I've never taken a private flight, but I hope I'm out of the Navy before they make COVID shots required for the oh yeah, that's true, huh? For the service. Yeah, they all have to get people to take the shot is to make it a social stigma note to take. I mean, think about it this way. If you even try to go somewhere or go in a place with no mask on, people will look at you funny. Have you ever done that? Have you ever went in the store? Say like you were going to the store and you got to the door and you realized you didn't put your mask on. You're just like, fuck it, I'm just going to the store with no mask on. And then walk around with no mask. Just watch how people look at you when you don't have a mask. I've done it a couple times, accidentally forgetting my mask. They'll look at you like, oh my God, what are you doing? Are you are you crazy? They don't say nothing, but they just give you that look. Yeah, they will. I know they will. Just like tuberculosis shot for school. Sure, same thing. LJ, some airlines already talking about making the shot mandatory. I told you. I put it this way. I guarantee you there's some people that will have a card or something that will excuse them from the shot. Without a doubt, guaranteed. They just present this card. You'll never, you or I will probably never see such a card. Okay, we'll never see one. But I guarantee you, there's a group of people that will carry a card that will exclude them from the shot. You better believe it. Do what I say, slave, for sure. They are already talking about paying people to take the vaccine. Yeah, I've heard. I mean, Cosmic showed me this article, and it's just talk right now. Okay, it's just talk, but you guys have no idea how this. Not, I'm not gonna say you guys have no idea, but the majority of people don't realize what's really happening right now with this economy, the change that's happening, the wealth, the wealth gap. The school one is the you. I don't think people really understand the school one is the biggest. That is the biggest one right now. I mean, this you got slaves that don't understand the economy now homeschooling their children unknowingly. Okay, because it doesn't mean that you love your kids any less. I'm not, and I need to make sure that's clear. You don't know what you're doing. I mean, they're not going to be going. I mean, that's a whole year out of school. And you know the majority of parents are not on their kids about getting in their homework and getting onto the online classes, double checking their homework to make sure they're checking in. They just I can only imagine the stress on top of not having a job, not being able to pay the bills. I can only imagine. You guys that have the gap is going to be so big. I am going to try my hardest to help as many people as I can during this time. I'm gonna do my part because I know I'm here for my part. I know I can't, but I'm gonna do my best to my abilities to help those that want to be helped come on the other side of not only this economy, but any economy downturn that happens in the future. You will always be ready for it. No economy will surprise you. You will see it coming from a million miles away. I mean, you couldn't nobody could tell a virus was coming. Okay, that's well above anybody's pay grade here on this show. Even listening to that, right? But even that, yeah, it'll affect you, but not the way it'll affect the slaves. It's not the same. Like car trouble. Like say like a slave is deep in debt and their engine goes out on the car they're making payments on. Okay, that would be a very big problem for a slave. Very big. Okay. But if you have money and your engine goes out, you just have it towed to the shop and say, put in a new engine. Call me when it's done. I'll rent a car until you're done. How long is it gonna take you? A week? Okay, I'll just rent a car for a week. Nothing stops. Everything keeps flowing, right? So if a blown engine can affect a slave, can you imagine a blown economy? Can you imagine a blown economy? Recovery is gonna be people wrapped up doing jobs for the last 15, 20 years. The only skill set was on that job. And then all of a sudden the job doesn't exist anymore. Gone are your skill sets. Because we are in the world of delivery now. Businesses now have, in this economy, again, this is an employer's economy, okay? Amazon has forced businesses to copy them. Just no different than Uber. They need people to work, deliver all this stuff to consumers. in a timely fashion. Gone are the days of holidays being days off. Gone are the days of everybody getting off by 5. Those days are gone. People are going to get deliveries on Christmas, New Year's, after 5. They probably have to put a cap on it, maybe 8 o'clock, because people start getting robbed. You can't let it get dark, right? I wouldn't want to be delivering packages after dark. I tell you that right now. Sure not. Millions of people out of work and you delivering packages at night? No, sir. Ain't doing none of that. Especially like, imagine this. Imagine when PS5s go on sale. They know that they have to be, the majority of those PS5s are going to be delivered. Can you imagine being the UPS man or the whatever man? I know PS5 is not wrote on the box, but that doesn't matter. It's going to be the world of delivery. And guess who's going to do all the delivering? Slaves. They're not going to have a choice. What's up, Grade 23? What's going on? The microchip GPS tracking is coming as well. We're going to be like human apps. We're already there now. People don't really understand. People think you got to have a chip inserted in you. What's the first thing people grab to insert themselves back into the matrix as soon as they wake up? Their phone. Soon as a person's eyes crack open, guess what they grab? Their phone. How do I know this? I used to do it. First thing I get up, grab my phone. Boom. Hey, what's on this? What's on that? Check this email, because as soon as you open up, you hear a ding, 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 ding. I work at a major hospital. The flu shot is mandatory every year or you lose your job. I was told 2021 there will be the same for the COVID-19 shot. You should have seen how scared people were at work. I hope they're paying attention. Can you imagine how many hospital workers that are in mounds of student loan debt? Fucking piles of it. You think they can say no to the COVID shot? No, sir, they can't. Mandatory flu shot. I'd stopped taking the flu shot years ago. Years. As soon as I start seeing them that they were giving you flu shots at corner stores, I said, hey, yeah, something's wrong with that. That doesn't make any sense. You mean I can get a flu shot at 7-Eleven? Yeah, something's wrong. No, I ain't taking no more flu shots. Honorary diplomas are excluded from everything. Honorary diplomas are excluded from everything. All right, you got to tell me what that means, Andre. I don't know what that means. 2020 has been an eventful year. We're supposed to be like the Jetsons by now from what they told us in the 90s, but this cultural and economic shift is almost as a phenomenal this economic shift is almost just as phenomenal. Gotcha. I think when they tell us about the future, I think they kind of you got to remember, movies try to do their best. I mean, you ever notice like future movies always show the future in turmoil, cities torn down and roads closed and all this other stuff. They've been doing that same old type of movie for years, right? Cosmic says, I agree. Some kids are suffering right now. Record number of kids failing math, English, while other parents got private tutors dedicated for others. Well, we'll be dealing with this for decades. Sure will. Don't even ask what the cost. Oh, crap. What's Andre talking about? Yep, just replace that engine. If you're a slave, still don't have to give. If you're a slave, they still don't have to give you an incentive. That's the economy runs on slaves. It does. Apparently, all these issues we're currently facing in this world during this particular time was all predicted in the Bible. Yeah. I do look at the Bible. Don't get me wrong, I'm not religious, but as my eyes have opened, when I look at some of the sayings in the Bible, they start to they I see them differently now. That's the best way I can describe that. Cupcake says, "Yeah, I had to run back to the car and get." I've done that so many times. I'll get to the door and forget my damn mask. I just be like, "Oh my god!" And I go back and get my mask because I don't want to deal with. I don't want to deal with unconscious. I just don't want to deal with that. They see that big old box. How gamers know what it looks like. Exactly, they know what it looks like. You think if you come out with that box as a delivery worker and somebody comes up to you with a gun and say, "Hey, give me that box," they're giving up the box. But and you got to think at the same time, if somebody will threaten your life for a game system, man, that's a whole different type of. It's a it should show you something, right? If not only if somebody threatened your life, the person that's stealing from you, they're willing to risk their life, their freedom, changing their life forever, becoming a felon for a game system. You think it really costs $400-500 to make a PS5? No, I bet you it probably barely costs $50. Check into the Matrix, sure will. Just grab your phone, you check in. You're part of the board. Diplomats exclude from breaking the law. Yes. You can buy a diplomatic passport to evade the law. Buy a diplomatic passport. Hmm. Carlos says, my colleague messaged me about investing in the stock market, and I told him to clear his debt and he'll give himself an instant pay raise. Still waiting for his reply. He's not going to reply to you for sure. Netflix has a drama called Containment from 2016 about a pandemic that breaks out. The script was written nearly identical to what we're dealing with right now with COVID. You swear it was planned. Um, and this is just me, all right? And this is just from what I see. You I can clearly see there are rules. Okay, there's rules. This is clear. This is clear. There are rules. And I hate to say, I don't really speculate on that stuff, nor am I going to do because there's just too much that comes with it. Because don't get me wrong, I have no limits, but there's certain limits I have. I ain't gonna front. There's certain limits I'll say, yeah, I ain't talking about that. Because you gotta remember there's a lot of unconscious slaves. There, put it this way. There are people out there that will kill you over religion. This is a fact. That doesn't even make sense to me. Just because you don't believe in the same religion, there are people that out there that will kill you over it. That doesn't make any sense to me. So now if you start talking about things that that's well above your pay grade that you can never prove, why even bother going to that arena? Because you'll never know. Say like COVID was a planned event. You think you're gonna ever know that? You think you're gonna find it on Google somewhere? No, you're not. All you got to do is go by what you see. Survival rate. Um, you know, I don't know. I don't really talk about that stuff too much though. Giving their freedoms up for a $50 gaming console sure is. My little 40th birthday TV was stolen in broad daylight. No worries. Look at it, stolen. If you're listening to this channel and you've stolen a TV, a game system, a phone, you're willing to trade the time in your life for a worthless object, you are in deep financial trouble. Deep, deep. If you're a scammer, you're going to be doing that for the rest of your life, scamming for the rest of your life. You have to know at some point it's going to stop. The choice is up to you if it's going to be by you or by some entity outside of you called the law. I hope you are evolving with what's happening right now, because it has changed. The economy has changed, and it has changed forever. I hope you're not walking around talking about, I can't wait till things get back to normal. Those days are gone forever. They're never coming back, ever. The economy is changed forever. I'm gonna put this link up there if somebody, preferably some new people, okay? Because I'm seeing more and more people in the chat, in the channel, and I don't know if you're scared or nervous to talk, but I strongly suggest this is your opportunity to get out of the debt matrix, get out of this. Even though the economy looks pretty bad, there is a way out. There is light at the end of the tunnel. There is. You can get out. This can be your 2020 can be your clear vision from this point on. Right now, 2020, man, you'll always remember 2020 vision. You can be free for the rest of your life. You can teach your children. Teach this. You will make sure your children go into the right schools because you'll know how to pick the right school. You always have the money. Don't worry about the cost. You'll have the money for it. The reason why it costs what it costs, especially the schools that know, they're worth every penny. Because they're teaching exactly what you want your kids to know, because this is generational, man. This is generational. Had I known this, like, I'm gonna bring my youngest son. My youngest son and I talk a lot, so I'm gonna bring him on the show. I'm just trying to get some dates together for her because I want you guys to hear him speak. Because I've always taught my kids about awareness when they were young. I wasn't debt free, but I was aware. All right. And I always try to point that out. Hey man, awareness is a look. This is what awareness is. And now it's a combined with finances, aware of finances and all this other stuff, man. I want you guys to hear it from him. Because we talk till this day. We talk a lot, but we talk now, finances are included. LJ, can you play for us the Morpheus edit vid that you put up on your SD Facebook page the other day? Oh, where did I put that? Let me see. Let me see if I downloaded it. Let me see if it's here. Oh, wait, it's just a second. I'm looking for it now. I think I found it. 1 second. Here, let me see. I just told you something. Okay, here we go. 1 second. Thank you for bringing that up, Nicer. Appreciate it. Okay, let me bring this up here. Okay, this is a video that Young Grump put together, okay? Young Grump is a SMD family member. And He throws these together for me. So hold on here. I just told you something. It costs 16 cents to make that $100 bill. Do you know it costs 16.9 cents to make a $100 bill? Did you know that? Yeah. Why do you believe it's $100 in your pocket when I'm telling you it's 16 cents? I'm showing you it's 16 cents. You should hear the excuses they come up with. Oh man, the overhead. You got what the are you talk? What are you talking about? Like a 20 and a 50. I think it costs the same amount of money to make. And I forgot the exact, but it's pennies. It's less than 100, right? But it's the same amount to make a 20 and a 50. But to you, they just say, okay, whatever. We don't care our cost. What is their cost? So they make one a 20 and one a 50. And you guys think you have $70 when you barely have 50 cents. I don't know. Hey, I'm just telling you this right now. I have no idea how I didn't see that. I have no clue how I didn't see that. What I'm gonna do is upload that too, so you guys can check it out. But Young Grump, man, he puts these together, man. It's remarkable, crazy, remarkable. I believe the delivery jerk stole my 40-inch TV. I can laugh now, but then I was mad as hell. I bet. Stole a TV. Man, there are 2 private schools that just opened up in my neighborhood, and these parents and constantly down there signing those kids up. Yeah. But even that, Cosmic, I still, just because it's private doesn't mean it's necessarily they teach the correct type of economy teaching that I would require. You know? I know, right? Nice. So that was good. The steak scene is good. All right, you guys. If there's no questions, I'm gonna get on off here. Get on. I can't always say that. Get on off here. I'm gonna be getting off soon here. We're gonna stop at the 2-hour mark since there are no questions. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Appreciate you. It's really for some reason, man, it's like it's been draining for me lately. Energy draining. Not that people are sucking my energy from me, because I don't allow that. It's some kind of other draining of energy for some reason. But it still doesn't stop my mission of helping as many people as I can with this gift that I have discovered. What's up, citizen? How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, SavingsMinusDebt?
What's going on, man? Thanks for
Oh,
jumping on the
LJ.
show. Appreciate it.
Oh, no, man. Thank you, man. Hey, you opened my mind up, bro. Man, I'm telling you, bro. Like, I had a quick question I wanted to ask you, LJ.
Yeah, go
This
ahead.
might be the last chain in my slave mind. So,
Mhm.
if when I get out of debt, right? So I got student loan debt, and I got a plan to knock it out by the end of the year. And if I do come across like a house, right, and I buy it with cash, if I were to refinance it and pull out the equity, would that kind of be back in debt and everything? Is that going backwards again?
All right, that's a great question. Very good question. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
let's go over what you said to me. Okay, you said if you were to buy a house in cash, all right,
Right,
and you
like
tell me if go ahead. I'm sorry.
let's say the house is worth 100,000 and I bought
Yeah.
it for like 50, right? Yeah, it's easy number.
Okay. All right. So let's use your words, because so you can hear it yourself what you're saying. Okay. You said if the house was worth 100 and you bought it for 50, right? Is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
What you just told me is impossible. You can't buy you can't buy a house worth
Oh, you're
100
right.
for
You're right.
50,000.
Okay, you're right.
Okay.
I got you.
All right.
Okay,
So,
I see.
and this
Yep.
is so you can hear what you're saying, because the reason why I'm pointing this out, because millions of people say what you just said.
Yep, you're right. You're
See?
right. I get it. No, I get it. As soon as you said that, I get it. Yeah, it's not 100,000. It's 50,000.
No, it's not that. No, that means you don't have enough money to buy it. The word buy means you have the
Oh,
cash to buy it,
right. Okay.
right?
If I,
You didn't
oh,
buy
yep.
anything. You're going to finance it.
I got
And
you.
then
Yep. You're right.
and then if you financed it and then refinanced it, you're losing. You're just going
You're
deeper and
losing.
deeper in the hole.
I'm with you 100%. Okay. Yeah.
You didn't
So I
buy,
see what
yeah,
you're
you
saying.
didn't buy anything.
You didn't buy nothing. You're right.
You didn't buy
Okay.
nothing. Mhm.
All right. Cool. I appreciate that, man. That's exactly what I. Yeah. Thank you for that.
Yeah, man, you're welcome, man. I'm glad you asked that question the way you did so you can just see. So this is how you always do it. This is how you should always do it. Always trust mathematics, okay? And remember this statement. If it doesn't make mathematical sense, it doesn't make financial sense, CENTS.
Gotcha. Okay. You know what,
All
LJ?
right.
Something on here. I got one more question.
Take your
Right.
time, man. Don't rush. No rush. Take your time, man. I want you to ask all the questions you wish, okay?
Okay. Perfect, man.
Mhm.
So when you were paying your student loan debt off, right? Did it like was it like a velocity kind of thing? Like did you pay it off a lot quicker than you thought you would have? Like did it compound? You get what I'm saying?
I hear what you're asking. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm gonna simplify it in a way so you can understand. Okay. To take out the complexity of what you're asking.
Okay.
Paying off my student loans cannot go any faster than my paychecks.
Ah, okay.
I can't go to my boss and say, "Hey, boss, can you give my paychecks faster?" Because that's the only way you can pay off your student loan debt faster.
You're
There
right.
is no other way. There is no other way.
Man, that's why it's so tough for people, huh?
That because
It's
they
just that simple.
yeah they the simplicity of it, and they believe that there's something outside of themselves that can pay off the debt faster. But when all your money comes from your checks, so nothing can come faster than your checks. Nothing.
Right. And okay, so I also got student loans kind of like set up like pay off each would you recommend like paying off the smallest and then just keep knocking them out, paying each loan, as much as I can in full, or just like set a monthly rate for them?
So you always put them in order from smallest to the largest, just like Dave Ramsey. Put them in smallest from the largest, paying
Hmm.
heavy on the smallest while paying minimums on the rest.
Oh, so okay, so you're saying hit them all at the same time?
No, you not at the same time. You put them in order, balances from smallest to the largest. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So say like we're going to keep the number simple. Say like the smallest one was $50. The next one was $100, and the next one was $200. Just keep it small, right? But the
Mm-hmm.
minimum payments on them were $20, and let's say $20 minimum payments on the rest of them. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but on the $50 one, you pay as much as you can, the heaviest, while making minimum payments on the rest, so you don't ruin your credit, right?
Right.
So, and this process is important so you can understand the psychological part of the process. Because right now, when you pay them off, you will see them disappear. The physical
Hello?
part that you can you hear me?
Hello? Did
Can
I
you hear
cut
me?
out?
Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, yeah. Can you hear me? Oh, we must have lost you.
Oh, it was me. Oh, okay, my bad. I think the Wi-Fi was messing up. Can you hear me
Yeah,
now, LJ?
yeah. I can hear you. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, let me. Sorry about that.
Okay. All
Is-
right. So you go smallest from the largest because the psychological part piece that you need to understand, so you can see, so you can physically see the debts disappear.
Yeah, that was the devil, man. Okay, I see what you're saying. So just do it from smallest to largest, so I can see them disappear. Is that what you said, LJ?
Correct. Correct. Correct.
Okay, cool. Hey, I'm gonna set up a consultation with you. Is that cool?
Yeah.
So we can kind of talk about offline about this.
Yes,
Just
it's
go.
right there. The website's scrolling along the bottom there.
All right, cool. I'm gonna get up with you later. All right, thanks, LJ. Appreciate it, man.
Oh yeah, no problem. Thank you for jumping on. I appreciate it. I like that, man. Whoops. There we go. Okay. What's up, Omanike? What's up, Ty? Catching the end of the show here. Those are great questions, and I'm glad. I'm glad he asked. I'm glad Citizen asked the question the way he asked, because a lot of slaves use the word buy and bought when they should be using the word finance. Like just the way he said it. He was like, "Hey, if I bought a house, the house was worth 100, and I bought it for 50. Well, that's impossible. That's mathematically impossible. You can't buy a house that's worth 100 for 50,000. That's impossible." And then he kind of you could hear it click with him. That's why he laughed, because you could hear it clicking, like, "Oh, damn, you're right. I can't buy $100,000 house for 50,000. No, that's impossible. Who's going? If I had like, for example, if I had a house, I would sell it for 100,000, and the person said, "Hey, man, I got $50,000 cash to buy your house." I would be like, "Then why are you here? I don't get why you're here. Why are you at my doorstep? If I just said my house was 100,000 and you only have 50,000, why are you here? You know?" So how do you generate wealth with taxes? Uh, that is called phantom income. And you must be debt free to see it. Uh, Here, I'll give you an example. That's a very good question, too. Let's see. Okay, here's phantom income. Okay. When you think about phantom income, you got to think about everybody in the economy as a whole. Okay. So put it this way. So if there are trillions of dollars in car loan debt, say like the average person that has a car note is paying $500 a month. Okay. $500 times 12 is $6,000 a year. If you don't have a car note, you now earn $6,000 more per year than the average. The average is made up of millions upon millions of people that make the same financial decisions as one. Okay. Anytime you hear, "Hey, the average car note is this," where they're talking about slaves. Okay. And if you don't have if you don't have a car note, you now make $6,000 more per year than the average. There's taxes that you can see, and then there's taxes that you can't see. That's called phantom income. Here's another one. Say like when you're debt free, you have the ability to maximize your 401k, which is 19,500. Okay, that's just the one you can see. We're just talking about the ones you can see. $19,500. Okay. Slaves cannot. So when you have the ability to knock out to max out your 401k at 19.5, not only do you get to put 19.5 away in your retirement, you get to take that same $19,500 off of your annual income, which will lower you in your tax bracket. That's called, so say like you did that and it saved you, I'm just throwing out numbers, say like it saved you $3,000, $4,000 a year by doing it, right, in taxes. Okay, it lowered you in your tax bracket and saved you that much money. You now make $5,000 more per year than the average of slaves that cannot afford to do that. I guarantee you, if you go to work and you ask a person, any of them, have you ever maxed out your 401k? And then first they're going to think you're talking about the match. Okay. They always do that. Slaves always going to say, "Oh, yeah, I maxed out the match." And then you got to say, "No, I'm talking about the $19,500. When's the last time you did that?" They'll turn to you and say, "I can't afford that." Exactly. They're slaves. They can't do that. They will never be able to see phantom income. Okay. I will send my younger cousins to you. They're caught up in this materialistic, no money hip hop scene. Yeah, please do. But you got to. What I strongly suggest cupcakes. First, send them to watch my videos. Say, hey, send them links to my videos, and just say, hey, check these videos out, and then get back with me. If they don't get back with you, they're not interested. I see now, LJ. The taxes are saved there, which is a portion of the phantom income piece. Correct. Anything you hear, this is a key piece so you guys can understand something. If you ever read an article and they say the average so and so, the average X, remember they're talking about slaves. The average mortgage payment is this, the average car payment is this, the average cell phone payment is this. They're talking to slaves. When you're debt free, you hear the word average, you disconnect from that article or the news broadcast, because you will know they're not talking to you, they're talking to slaves. Slaves will never understand how taxes truly work. They sure in the hell won't understand how phantom income works. What's up,
Hey, my bad,
citizen?
LJ. I just remember. Okay, so what I really want to. So what about if it's a desperate seller, right?
I'm listening. What are you talking? Tell me your scenario.
Like the scenario is, let's say they're going through a divorce and they don't really care about the house, and it's 100,000, and then I say I'll give you 50 for it.
Yeah.
In that scenario,
You don't have enough money to buy it.
do then
What does it matter if they're desperate and they're selling for 100? If you only have 50, you can't buy it.
Oh, I see. Okay, my bad. Okay, I'm fine. Okay, I guess I gotta get these
No, no,
shackles
just
off. I gotta get these shackles off me. I'm just trying
that's
to.
what the shot. All you got to do is just do the math. These are, yeah, okay. It's not like just like I said before. Say like I'm that desperate buyer. Okay,
Uh
I'm
huh.
seller. I'm selling my house for 100,000. You come to me with 50. I'll say, hey, citizen, why are you here? I don't get it.
Yeah, but you debt free though.
No,
I'm
don't
talking
worry
about like
about me. No, don't worry about me. I'm some person that you don't know. Okay.
okay.
I am debt free, but you don't know that I'm debt free. And you come to my house and you come to me and say, hey, uh, I heard you're selling your house for 100,000. I got 50. I would say, why are you here?
But wait, hold on. Okay, see, this is what I'm a little confused with. Okay, I remember you were talking about like the phantom income, right?
Yeah.
Like where certain prices don't apply to aliens.
Nothing applies to us. No sale
Right,
price apply. Uh-huh.
exactly. So I'm saying, so like, yeah, they, like the market price might be 100,000, right? But what if they're desperate and I have cash and I'm not in debt and I can just get it for 50? You like, I see what you're saying. It's not, but I'm a little confused because you can get a car for.
I I know what you're I know what you're saying. Okay. So I want you to this is what I want you to try to concentrate on. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to okay, I'm gonna ask you a question. It's gonna be an odd question, okay?
Okay.
All right. But I want you to okay. How do you feel about 1 + 1 equaling 2?
No, I have nothing, no feeling at all.
Okay. So anything I say forth from this day from this point forth, if what I'm saying is mathematically true, it doesn't matter how you feel about it, okay?
Uh-huh.
All right. Can you buy a house selling for 100 if you only have 50,000?
No.
Then you there's no point to go any further past that. You're not who cares if the person's desperate? It doesn't matter the situation they're in. It doesn't matter. You can't
Hmm.
buy it because what you're asking is you're talking about getting a mortgage for it because you don't have enough money. You're about to
No, I was talking
finance
about
it.
no, I was just saying if I had cash, right?
Okay.
And then the person was like, "Hey, you got $50,000 cash? I'll give you this $100,000 house."
Okay. Yeah. That's what about that? What are you saying? Does that happen?
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was asking. And then what if I did a refinance on that after I got the house for 50? You get what I'm saying?
I do see what you're saying. So what you're saying is that if you got a person to sell you $100,000 house for 50,000, great for sure. But then you're asking to go get in debt. to get a
Yeah, that's
deal.
what I was saying. Yeah, and that's why I was wondering. That's just going back into it, right? That's just going back, hustling backwards, right?
Well, no, that's different. Well, no, that's different. What you're saying is different. So if you got a house worth 50 and you
Right.
okay, if you had 50, okay, first of all, if you have $50,000 cash, okay, you understand money a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's just right off the bat. If you have $50,000 cash and first of all, right,
Right.
and you bought a house for half the price, and that means you would know exactly what you're going to do with that money, right? But what I'm saying to you, yes, that will work for sure, but you must be debt free first to
Right.
even.
Exactly.
Because
Okay.
yeah, I see what you're
Okay.
saying now. I see
You
what you're
see what
saying.
I'm saying? Okay. Yeah.
I
Okay.
do.
That's why I had. Okay. I see. And I see what you're saying. Okay. Right. Okay. You got to be debt free for this even to be a possibility.
Correct. You can't do
I
it
got
because if you're in debt, you don't have 50,000. Like if if okay, say like this, if somebody asked me that question, say like I didn't know, you came up, hey man, uh would this be a deal, man, if I got $100,000 house for 50,000, you think then I can refinance and take that money and invest it in something else so I can flip and keep flipping? The first question I'm gonna ask you is like, you got student loans? If you say yes, then you don't have $50,000, because if you have fifty
you.
thousand
Right.
dollars you wouldn't have student loans.
You sure right about that. You
You wouldn't have
sure right.
student loans.
I know that's right.
So anybody, put it this way, citizen, because a lot of people out there are giving advice like that. If anybody comes to you and says something like the scenario that you're saying to me right now, hey man, what if I
Hmm.
do this and flip that and this? You turn to them and say, do you got student loans? If they say yes, everything they're telling you is mathematically incorrect.
You know how I'm gonna. You know I'm gonna tell you something, man. You know how I know you telling the truth, man, because every time I bring up student loans to people, man, the conversation always gets quiet. Like that, like that's how I know you right, man. Because I remember I used to talk to these people. I'd be like, "Hey, man, how much student loan y'all got?" Nobody would ever mention it.
Right,
Like it's not important. You know what I
right.
mean? Like everybody wants to hide it.
That's part of the program.
Yeah, you're right. Because it's shameful.
Well, how long have you had yours? How long have you had yours?
Me? How long I've had
Mhm.
mine?
Correct.
Okay, so I'm 27. I joined in, so since it's about 7 years. 7 years.
How long did you go to school?
Two.
So you went to school for 2 years, but you've been paying on your student loans for 7.
Right, exactly.
See, I want you to hear that,
It's shameful. You're
because
right. It's not. You're
I
right.
paid on
I'm
mine
on it.
for almost 10.
Yeah, you're right, and I'm sure. Yeah, yeah, it's bad. Yeah, like I have a small child. I have a child by now. That's 7 years old.
Hmm. Your student loans are the same age as your children.
If
Your
I don't
child.
have any, but I know what you're
Oh,
saying.
I
You're
thought you
right.
said you had to say. Okay, I thought you
No, I'm
said you
saying
had.
it's like having a child.
Yeah, but if you have a child and you still have student loans, your student loans are going to be older than your children.
They are, and more expensive.
Correct. What's up,
God.
International? What's going on, man? I don't know if he wanted to say something to you. I'm not sure. You there, Andre?
I just wanted to get into that one there. People have a confusion here with price and value. So, for example,
Hmm.
if an iPhone is manufactured in China, right, and it costs them, let's say, $200 to manufacture it, and then it gets to a wholesaler, and that wholesaler sells it to a retailer for, let's say, $1,000. Well, how did the $200 iPhone go from $200 from the manufacturer to $500 at the wholesaler to $1,000 at the retailer? What is the true value of that item? That's what LJ frequently is trying to get across. So again, let's go back to his example. There's $100,000 market value home, and he's able to buy it for $50,000. Well, guess what? The value of the home is what it transacted for. So if you transacted that home for 50,000, that is what the value of that house is. 50,000. That's
So
the
so
value to go ahead.
I just want to yeah. No, I see what you say exactly what you're saying. But what if I would have got it appraised? Right? Would it still be 50,000? You see what
Okay,
I'm
so
saying? Do they
now
go off transaction or they go off the? You know what I'm saying?
no, it's still now we're going to a separate transaction. Now that house was worth 50,000 to you.
Right.
That's why
Okay.
you
I'm with
paid
you. I'm with
50.
you. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Otherwise, you would have paid 100, right?
Exactly. Okay. I'm with you. Yep. I'm following.
So this is where people get confused, and it's the smoke and mirrors about how stuff works. If you got that house for 50, it's worth 50 to you. Now we're going to the next transaction. Let's say, for example, if you're financing it, right? Now you go and get your appraisal. Now you're having a third party. That's why you have to get an appraisal, right? You wouldn't need an appraisal if you didn't need a third party to give that house a different value than what you paid for it. You understand?
Yep.
So now you go get your house appraised for 100,000, right? It's still not $100,000. Why? Because no transaction has occurred. Now you go to the bank and you say, "Look, I just got this property appraised for 100,000." Now the bank says, "You know what? Yeah, we see that the market value right now, right?" And this is another thing that I have problem with people with homes. If the house has a value, how could it be worth 300,000 in 2007 and worth 150,000 2 years later in 2009? If that where did half of the value of the house go?
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying?
I'm following
So
exactly
you
what you're saying.
so you have to be very careful with that, because that's where I find most people get trapped. The value of the house is what it will transact for in that moment in time. Before that or after that doesn't matter. At that moment. So when you go to the bank, you say, "Look, I got this house appraised for 100,000." Until that bank writes you a check for $100,000 of value, which they won't give you, they're going to give you
Like
90%,
70. Yeah.
80%,
Like
whatever
yeah.
it is.
80, yeah. All that.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, why is that? I thought it was worth 100. Why are they only giving me 90? Why are they giving me 80? You follow what I'm saying?
No, I do. Yeah. So
So
you're
you
not
got to be
even.
very
Yeah. You're
careful with
right.
that. And that's where people get messed up, because that premium is your first loss. That premium that you're getting, that difference between what the house is really worth, which is really what it's worth to you as an individual. If you're buying it, it's what it's worth to you in that moment as an individual. Then you have to look at the next part of that transaction, is when you're selling it or you're renting it or you're trying to get it financed. Then it's what it's worth to the other person or the bank. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
All right.
Yeah, I
I just
see.
wanted to
I
clear
see.
that up, because there's a lot of confusion with that.
Yeah, and that's why I definitely had to add, because I was pondering that all day. I was like, wait a minute, man. What if I'm? But yeah, like you said, Ed, you got to be debt free for even. Yeah.
Yeah. Without being debt free, this is a this conversation doesn't even exist.
Right.
Right. See,
Exactly.
and
Right.
citizen, I strongly say, hey, citizen, do you know how much debt you're in? And be honest,
Yes,
do you know?
I do. I just. Yeah. 100%.
Okay. Do that's step one. Okay.
Hmm.
Concentrate on the business of you.
Right.
Zero starts with you. Don't worry about don't worry about doing anything outside of you until the business of you is in business, because you got to get to zero first to understand anything we are saying on this channel. I promise you. Yeah. And the confusion that I hear in your voice, sometimes you're trying to get a, that's the reason why put it this way, it'll make more sense once you get out of debt.
Yeah.
I
You can
promise
hit them
you.
chains shackling, can't you?
Yeah. Those chains are too loud. Those chains are too
Them
loud. They're
boys
clicking and
loud.
they're
You can hear
clicking and
them.
clanging. They're scraping up your car when you get in and out of your car. Have you noticed down by the door, it's scratched all up? Those are your chains, man.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, I knocked my first student loan out, man. So I'm gonna
Cool.
go ahead and keep pushing it, man. Hey,
I
like
hope
I said, I
you don't have
appreciate you.
leather in your car, do you?
Nah, man, nah, I don't. I
Okay.
don't.
Are you, as the cotton and stuff wore out, holes in your seats or anything like
Yeah, it
nothing like
is.
that?
It's wore out. LJ, it's wore out. The
Them
steering
chains are
wheel.
digging in, messing with your springs. Yeah, I've had that happen, man.
Yeah, nah, you sure right about that. But yeah, I'm going for real now. Hey, appreciate you though, man.
No
Appreciate you,
problem,
my
man.
international minded.
Thanks, Andre, for jumping up there. Hey, let me ask you a question, Andre. When
Yes, sir.
okay, so I can understand this. Okay, say like the house is worth 100, but the bank is only going to give you 85 to 90. Why do they do that? Why don't they give you the full 100?
Okay, that the way that's a little bit complicated.
Oh, okay.
Basically, you have to understand how the bank works, right? The bank does not have that $100,000.
Right.
They create that 100,000 out of thin air, right?
Correct. Correct.
But you as the purchaser of the home, and let's say you're purchasing it with a mortgage, the prop they don't care about the house.
Right.
They don't want the house. They want someone to pay, right?
Could that be their phantom fee for not giving you the 100? You know what I'm saying?
No, that portion that they don't give you
Yeah.
is this market portion so that they don't lose capital. Because if they put out $100,000 loan, right? And then they have to call that loan back in, and they can only get that, let's say $80,000 or $90,000 for that home. They now have a capital loss of $20,000 or $30,000. So that's why you have to put a down payment, and that's why someone who puts down a 20% down payment versus a 3.5%, they're orders of magnitude less likely to walk away from that home. Because you okay, wait a minute, I'm gonna walk. There's a big difference between walking away from $3,500 and $20,000. There's a huge difference, and just multiply that times whatever amount. So the home has to, you have to get a loan for less than the quote unquote market. And this gets back to what I was saying about what is the real value of that home. Because if you could be, let's say in 2007 it's 300,000, and 2 years later it's worth half. How is that possible? Right. The only way and guess what? All along, the banks were issuing mortgages on homes that were not worth $300,000.
Right.
You follow me?
Yeah, I follow
because you. They don't care about the house. What they care about is a paying. Well,
the real asset,
I would call it the person. Yes, yeah, that's the real asset
of the person.
Is the person. The house cannot pay its mortgage. Only the loan owner can pay the mortgage, right?
The house can't pay its whole mortgage.
Yeah, but that's what people have to understand, and that's why I say, for me, it's all about self-esteem. It's about the person understanding their true value as a living human being on the planet. There would be no mortgage if it wasn't for them. So if you are the source of it all, get the respect you deserve. That's all I'm saying.
Right. And what's the last question, Andre? What is that? You know how I always mention get the best mortgage in the United States of America. What is that again? What would that be?
That would be a non-recourse mortgage. For example, if you have a self-directed IRA or 401k, it is required that the mortgage be non-recourse. And non-recourse gets back to this whole thing with the property. If you have a mortgage and you're foreclosed on, you actually have an outstanding debt, believe it or not. So if the value of the home is less than your mortgage, it goes to auction, there is net something owed, right?
Okay.
So now with the non-recourse, if for whatever reason that home is not paid for, the bank can only seize the property. They cannot go to you personally and say, hey, where's our extra 20,000, 30, 40, 50, whatever it, 100,000.
Gotcha.
They can their only claim is to the property itself. So it's non-recourse, meaning they have no recourse to come to you for a penny more than whatever the house will sell for in the open market.
Gotcha.
And it usually requires a 40 to 60%. Some banks won't do it at all. They're just not gonna, because the deal is not good for them. Remember, the higher the higher the loan to value, the more money. And it's funny, they make it sound like they're doing you a favor by allowing you to put down, a 3.5%. No, they love that, because the less you put down, the more there is in that loan, plus PMI. right?
Yes, yes, yeah.
And then they turn it around to make it look like they're doing you a favor somehow. It's
Yeah,
funny.
they're good. They're good.
That's where they get the most profit.
They're good. Just like I always say to you, I know the banks write half the shit that's out on the internet, half the financial information that's up there. I know they write it.
Oh,
It looks like
absolutely. That's a fact.
it
And
looks
it's
like
easy.
I can see it. It looks like they write it.
Yeah, it's obvious. Once you know what's going on in the background, once you understand how the financial system works,
Right.
everything becomes obvious. Right
Well,
down to a Cottonelle commercial. You know what I'm saying?
right. That's why I can't watch TV, man. Commercials just drive me freaking nuts now. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. You have any other questions for me?
Nah, man, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for jumping on here as always, man.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
All right, man. Have a good one. Thanks. Yeah, I like when Andre jump on, man. Good factual information. He's part of S&B family. All right, man. I'm done. 2 hours, 30 minutes. I'm out. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thanks, Citizen, for jumping on here, asking great questions, man. Now, there's my website scrolling along the bottom. You need a consultation. Cash App's right there. And first of all, before I always forget, thank you, everybody that contributes to me out of the blue from watching my videos. Cash Apps me. Thank you very much. I wish I could write more in the reply instead of sending a symbol or something like that. I wish I could write you back, but I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Thank you, all of you guys that have joined the members only YouTube. I appreciate it. Thank you for joining. I hope you enjoy the content that's currently up there. Appreciate it. Wayman says, does he? Oh, I don't think Andre has a channel. I don't think he's a channel type of dude. At least I'm assuming. I don't know. I think he would have mentioned it by now. There are non-recourse loan states from what I'm seeing so far. First time I've heard of this, just looked it up. Yeah, it's not many people are going to look up. You know, a lot of people, when they go get a home or go get a mortgage, they cross their fingers in hopes of being approved. They don't say, I hope I get the best. Am I getting the best loan offered? You know, they're crossing their fingers hoping they get approved for the debt. So again, thank you, everybody, for joining. You guys have a wonderful evening. Until next time. All right, later.